Well, hello, everyone. In today's show, I would like to honor a woman who still whispers sweet pieces of advice in my ears after all of these years. Yes, I want to talk about my abuelita, my grandma, or as I used to call her, my mama. My mama used to say that life will teach you if you're brave enough to listen. So, ladies, abuelitas que están escuchando, recuerden, please remember that we need to listen to our gut, to those gut feelings that we always have, in order for us to compare the right from the wrong. Listen to your heart as it beats every day with joy as you meet someone new or as you do something new and creative in your life. Be open. Be your true self. Like, start today. Why not? Welcome to Entre Abuelitas. I am your host and your abuelita, Liliana Montenegro. And this is Lily Talk. A short little loving update to all my caregiver members of this life because there are so many of us walking the same path. I hope you're doing okay. I hope your caregiving experience and everything that I have shared with you will help you to move forward with determination. And remember, just because you put your parent in a home, in a rehab facility, or in a board and care, like in this case with my mother, it is because we love them and we want them to get the best treatment. Now, my mother has been on the board and care now for 9 days. I have to tell you on a side note, I usually record this program on Sunday evenings. So that is a nice, relaxed moment and a conversation with a friend, with a guest. So on Saturday, last night, Saturday night, it's the pre-Easter night. And today I'm recording this program that drops tomorrow, Monday the 6th. And it is Easter. So I decided I was going to call Mom, though I had been asked not to call or show up for a couple of weeks as to give her the opportunity to settle in. Well, when I called her, she was not only up on a wheelchair, looking all cleaned up. They had made food for the 6 members of the home. They were trying to convince her to eat a little bit. As I spoke to her, I actually forgot to ask her if she knew who I was. But when I said, I love you, she said it back, and that just meant the world to me. So hang in there, all of you caregivers out there. I am very thankful to the Lord on this amazing day that He has gifted me and my family with this little bit of hope. Though her mind continues to decline, her body is strong and continues to be with us. So now we pray that peace continues to surround my mother's life. And as we talk about peace and enlightenment and moving on and resilience and being strong, well, in today's episode of Entre Abuelitas, we welcome a woman who has not only lived 1,000 times, but this has happened on and off the screen. A Latina actress whose career has spanned decades. Not because it was easy, but because she refused to let the world tell her what she could be, who she could be. She's walked through doors that weren't even there in the first place. She carved out spaces where none existed, and she carried proudly her culture, her Mexican culture, with pride in every role, every set, and every chapter that she reached. This is a story of resilience, artistry, y sobre todo, mis amigos, con mucho corazón. I met her 20 years ago when she returned to the United States. It is an honor, a privilege to have her with me today because she's here to remind us that our journey as Latinas is strong and it demands a commitment of a lifetime. So please, without any further ado, I would like you to meet this amazing woman. So welcome to the Entre Abuelitas stage, my friend and the fabulous Mexican actress, Julieta Ortiz Elizondo.
Yay!
How are you, mi Julieta?
Very good. Very happy to be here with you, with my friend that now has her own podcast and everything. Woo.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Um, you were born in the United States,
Yes,
so
I was born.
share that with us. How did you become this fabulous Mexican actress when you were born in the States?
Well, I was born in Abington, Pennsylvania. Uh, I don't remember anything about that place because as a baby in arms, my parents went back to Mexico City. My other three siblings were born there too. The four of us were born in different cities of that area, but we went back to Mexico City, and I stayed there. And I kind of forgot that I was born there because it was like a, yeah, like a, you know, just blurry memory of my
Because you were
first day.
raised in Mexico.
Yes, yes, and so I was raised there, and I knew I had like this connection with English, but I went to bilingual schools and that, so that's why I kept the language, and I had
Hmm.
like a special connection with the language. But it even made me have a little bit of trouble because I was speaking English first, and I started speaking mixed. Like I quiero
This
another cookie, galleta, and
You're
like
Spanglish.
Spanglish total. So at the end, when we went to Mexico, I was talking English to the little kids, and they all just looked at me like, "A esta qué le pasa?" No, because and so I was like, "Oh." So I started being like a little bit quiet. And then when I was in kindergarten, my father got this job. He was a doctor, so he got this job in a hospital in Mountain View, California. So we went
Wow.
there for a year, and I did kindergarten there. But when I got there, I
Oh.
I I spoke Spanish. Then I was speaking Spanish, and I spoke Spanish to the little kids. And again, they looked at me like, "What's wrong with this girl?" So again, I became so I think I that made me be a little bit like introverted and just
Was this a cause for you to be bullied a little bit
no,
or just
no,
ignored?
but yeah, kind of like they looked at me a little bit weird, like I didn't belong
Mm.
in Mexico because I spoke in English to them, and then when I switched, I went back, and then in the States because I spoke Spanish to them. So well, I think that made me become a little bit shy or like introverted, and it just very observer. My dad, remember, he told me that he when I was in parties or whatever, I was sitting in a little chair just looking at everybody. And I wasn't like
Aw.
suffering or crying or alone. I was happy, but I was enjoying observing. And I
Wow.
think that came out later when at first I started doing things with my body. I'm going to tell you how
Well, hold on,
how
hold on. We have to clear that up. You said you started doing things with your body. Wait a minute, Julieta. What are we talking about?
yeah, like physical stuff. I started like in running and sports and
Oh, you became more
bicycle and
athletic.
yeah, very physical. And so one day we
Yeah.
were in Mexico City, and I was like in 5th grade, I think, in elementary school, and my siblings were like I'm the youngest of four. And but so we are like one year after another.
Mhm.
So, we we did things together, but we also fight a lot, like siblings.
Of
And
course.
mom, Hector doesn't want to give me nothing. Mom, she's so one day my mother said, "Okay, everybody, get in the car right now and just grab leave everything you're doing and you get in the car." And she took us to this new club that was close to the house, like a La
Mhm.
Casa Popular. It was like a popular house, like for culture and classes of all kinds of things. So
Mhm.
you're not gonna leave this place before you have to be ¿cómo se dice inscrito?
You have to register for it.
You have to register in. a class of whatever in the evenings because I don't want to have you in the evenings at home. Like she was like harta de
She'd
nosotros.
had enough.
Yes. So she said, okay, classes in the evenings for everybody. And so I was like, oh, my sister is in guitar and music, no, so I'm not. My brother is in karate, so no.
Yeah.
My other sister is in painting that I like, but no, I don't want to be with them. The thing is that we have to be separate, right?
Uh-huh.
And so gymnastics. What's that? Like gimnasia rítmica. And the
Oh,
one with balls and and hula hoop and
right.
a
So
big
a lot of movement,
ribbon and
a
that.
lot of rhythm with
Yeah,
different
and
instruments.
music and everything.
Hmm.
And so I said, "Oh, well, that," because I had to be like I had to choose
Take
pick some.
something.
And so, well, that. And so I started doing that, and I was like, "Oh, I like this," and I started going, to is the competitions, and I
Oh, you
won,
got
and
that good, huh?
yeah, yeah, I liked it. I liked it very much because it was
Oh.
kind of dancing, but with the objects.
It was more artistic than anything, which is what
Yeah,
you are all about. So
and
that
that was the
launched
first
you?
step.
That was the first step. What followed?
Then from there, I started taking dance classes because
Okay.
I liked the movement, the music, and it was fun, and I just liked it. So I started taking like
Now, how old were you, Julieta, at that point?
I was 12.
Wow. Perfect. Perfect
Hmm.
age to shape you in starting your dreams.
Yeah, and so I think then I thought, oh, I want to be a ballerina, no? Because I loved ballet and whatever. So I went to ballet, and
Oh, you
then
went to ballet
no,
classes.
no,
Wow.
from there, no, from there I went to gymnastics, Olympics gymnastics.
Oh, wow.
And so, but there, I liked it and I was good, but I started seeing how other boys and girls just got into accidents, like fractures and
Mm,
bones and
right.
elbows,
It's a risky, yeah.
and I myself had a couple of big hits, and now that was kind of scary for me. I didn't want to, break a bone or anything. So I said, "Oh, I like just moving." So I went to ballet. But then the ballet teacher kind of hit me with something because I was, taking gymnastic postures like this, no, like
You
and
were too
and ballet.
stiff.
No, no, and blah blah blah. And
Oh my God.
she
I
was
would,
so
I would have run from that class.
I know. She said, I hate these girls that come from gymnastics. Like, look how they
Oh,
stand up. And now we're like, okay. So,
oh,
and from
what a
there, then
nice
I went
teacher.
to, yeah, from there, I went to modern dance, contemporary. And so
I like modern
the
dance.
most I did was Graham technique.
Oh, wow. Very
And,
nice. Very nice.
that's
I
the,
love Martha Graham.
yeah, yeah, I love it too, and I was very happy in doing that.
So all this was in preparation for you to, when did, was your first acting class, or how did you get up on stage?
Well, because there was this guy in dance that when he saw me, he said, "Oh, we need someone that learns some choreographies because we have this tour of this play, like it wasn't like a play, it was like a ritual
Oh,
of like
like a ceremony?
movement tarahumara, like a tarahumara ritual
No
ceremony. But
idea.
it
Oh,
was
a ceremony. So like an Indian ritual.
yeah, but it was
Very Mexican.
yes, but it was theatrical.
Nice.
And so they just needed someone to learn the movements and fast because a girl flaked and left them.
Left the group.
Yeah, and so they needed someone to learn it fast. And I said, "Oh, yeah, I can do that, but I don't know. I don't know acting. No, no, you don't have to talk. You just have to move." Oh, okay, okay, I'll do it. So I started to do, but then you had to get into the mood and everything that was. And even though I didn't talk, I needed to be in the mood and connect with the others and
Right.
bring the
You had to
thing up,
portray the
you know.
character. Like it or
Yeah.
not, you had to portray something. And
And you know
did
what?
you like
And
it?
yes, we all needed to put some clay in our faces and some
Mhm.
drawings of clay. And I remember that it was like very, it was like in crescendo, the energy. And at the end, there was this moment where everybody ended up in the floor. And I remember I was like that in the floor, just seeing the little heads of all the audiences and the clay just falling on my eyes and everything. And
Oh.
and that was the moment where I said, this is what I wanna do.
Oh, how amazing that you had that moment. So, this is when you are what? You probably were a year or two into taking all these classes. You were what, 13, 14 by then?
No, no, by then I was already in, like, 20
Oh,
because
so you took a lot of classes throughout all the years. But
yeah.
let's backtrack a little bit before you get to the moment where you know exactly what it is you want. During your growing up years, were there any artists in your family?
Well, my mom loved to paint, but she wasn't like a professional painter that lived of that and sold, her paintings and everything, but she loved painting, and I saw her
Mm.
paintings since I was little. And my
Mm.
dad was a doctor, so yeah, no, not much.
And by that time, as we had talked before, your grandparents were already gone. They were gone young.
My abuelitas, my
Oh, your
grandmothers,
abuelitas.
I
Yes. The
didn't
the
met
men
them.
stayed and remarried and went on with their lives.
Exactly, exactly.
Sad to say that back in those times, and we've seen it in quite a few of our conversations with our abuelitas, all those old diseases like typhoid and things is what used to get most of our, or even childbirth is what used to kill our abuelitas back in the time, in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
early
exactly.
1900s. But tell me, so you like acting in Mexico. What leads you to your first paid gig? How do you get there?
To my first what?
Paid job, your
Oh,
first paid acting gig.
um, well, actually, that job that I was describing with the clay, my,
They paid you.
yes, because it was a whole
Oh,
tour. They had the whole tour
oh,
already
that was
booked,
perfect.
and they just needed someone because they lost a person. So yeah, I
Right.
jumped in, and
Oh,
oh, okay, I
you
liked it.
were
It's fun.
hooked.
Yeah, and besides, and then they even paid me. So oh, I like this, and so I said,
Now,
okay. I spoke with my parents and I said, okay, I want to do acting. And my mom, oh, that's cool. And my dad, but uh, why don't you finish anthropology? Because I studied
oh,
chemistry and then
Dad,
I
I'll get right to it, Dad. Right after I become a great actress.
no, I told him I don't think an anthropologist has very, you know, asegurado, like,
Not
uh,
a very secure job future, huh?
no, they end up, teaching or selling books or working in a
Hmm.
library. I don't know. And so he
And
said,
you were already
okay, if
hooked.
that's what you want to do.
So now
So,
you're
well,
20 years old, and the years go by, and you are living your life. You are acting in Mexico. How was that? Were you working all the time? I'm pretty sure you were.
yeah, well, the first thing I thought is that I needed to study like seriously. Like I wanted to be professional
Oh,
actress. So I went in and I studied in el CUT, in el Centro Universitario de Teatro, in la UNAM,
nice.
the
Okay.
main university in Mexico
Para
City.
todos nuestros mexicanos que deben conocerlo. 'Cause
Mhm.
you're so cute. What is the name again? What is the last name you just gave us?
Um,
The
CUT, Centro Universitario de Teatro, that's inside the university. That's la UNAM, Universidad
UNAM.
Nacional Autónoma de México.
Oh, that is so pretty. And I must say, I have a love for Mexico. I have relatives who are from Mexico. My daughter is half Mexican. And I do know that Mexico is doing so well. these years. Is doing really,
Yes.
really well. But we want to move a little bit because time seems to be flying. So you study, you prepare yourself, you are a working actress, you have a life that moves on. But once you do the movie Dirt, something happens. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, actually, I was about getting close to open a play that I was doing there. And I did this audition and I booked it. And they gave me the main part of this movie that was going to be shot in New York and El Salvador. And it was the main part. And so I had to leave
Wow.
the play that I had never ever done something like that. But well,
Mhm.
they understood and somebody else jumped in, and so
Just
I
like you did on that very first job.
yeah, that happens.
Uh-huh.
And
So you go to New York.
so I went to New York, and it was there. I remember that I was in this hotel,
Hmm.
and in a very tall building, and I was sitting in the window. It
No,
was at
in New
night.
York? No.
It, and I was there looking at the city and the lights and all the movement and everything. And I saw my passport and I said, "Oh my God, I was, because I was born in the state, I
Right.
could have a
Help
double passport. So I have Mexican
dual
passport and American.
nationality.
Uh-huh. So I had my American passport in my hand and I said, "Oh my God, how many people, how many Mexicans and from everywhere, like come here and literally risk their lives to come here to work? And I could work here because I have my passport. I had it
Because
here,
you're an
and I was
American
looking at the
citizen.
city. I said, I have to try it. I have to come. It's like the life gave me the key to a door. I have to open the door if the key
That's
fell
the
in my
door we
hand.
were talking about. The one that wasn't there. She opened it up, people. She did. Now, what year was Dirt?
2005.
So not long after you moved right back to the United States.
We did in 2004. It was out in 2005, and I moved in 2006
Wow.
to LA.
20 years ago.
20 years
Congra-
ago.
Congratulations. And that's when I met you. We met, was that your first film here too? The one that we did, or was it it was about two of,
Maybe.
I was an abuelita, wasn't I? They had to color my hair white.
Uh-huh.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I
I
was an
remember
aunt
that.
or something. I barely remember. It was
What
a
was the name?
short, no?
Yeah, it was a short, and it was remember, I don't remember the name, but I'm sure I have it written down on my IMDb under Liliana Montenegro or Julieta Ortiz Elizondo. But let's talk about, you are in the States. Life, we all know that in Hollywood, it has changed a lot for all of us. Jobs have become scarce with everything that is going on in the political situation, which I know that you are a very outspoken critic of. And we might get a second to touch on that
Just one
because
second.
time, just one second, because time is flying. But are you staying here in the country?
um, no, I have decided to go back finally after 20 years because yeah, things have changed in my personal life, but also in general in this country. I had this illusion of coming here and doing things, and but right now, for because of how things are going and how I understand where they're headed to, I don't like it. And then I turn back and see to Mexico, and they're doing so well.
They're doing very well.
And I haven't been there since we have a female president. I haven't
Hmm.
been there. Well, I come and go because I've been doing projects over there
Yes. Hmm.
constantly. But yeah, I feel that there's a lot of work to do and fight to do, but I feel the need of going back and fighting over there with the people that I feel more close to me, not just my family, but my friends and my culture and everything. And I
Your
feel like,
Mexican Hollywood.
yes, I feel like I'm like some distance has been growing. I've been distancing myself from this country, and I feel more connected.
These
And
are very scary times. You are one to be paying close attention to everything that's going on. I mean, my DMs are bombarded with all the things that are happening that you send me every day, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. A lot of truths, a lot of sadness that is going on in this country, a lot of political issues that we're not gonna get into, but. I'm sure that just like you, there are many people who are at this point really considering leaving. And no matter what, Julieta, you have always been very close to your roots. You have been a powerful, powerful woman speaking about your country through your acting, your culture through your acting. You started teaching and showing the world about masks, which was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. You are a talented woman. I'm really sorry to see you go because 20 years is a long time. And I've also already told you, you never know. You might just see me knocking at your door in El Distrito Federal over there.
yeah, yeah, my arms will be open for you.
How did you stay grounded all these years in this industry that has changed so much? What did you do? Or was it the changes in the industry that are causing you to leave? In part.
Well, yeah, in part, yeah, there have been some changes in the industry um that has made it a little bit harder, but I don't feel that that scares me because we're actors. We're
All right.
used to just fight for what we do and find the way to keep doing it
To
and
be creative, like this
y-
podcast.
exactly,
Absolutely. And
exactly.
absolutely, because everybody needs to hang on because now we're also dropping Entre Abuelitas en Español con la gran Julieta Ortiz Elizondo. Así que no se muevan de ahí.
No se vayan.
No, because I'm telling everyone, thank you very much. But we will have Julieta Ortiz Elizondo joining us for our first Entre Abuelitas en Español that also drops on Monday the 6th at noon. So hang in there. We have so much to talk about. But tell me, what are you looking forward to in Mexico? What is the first thing that you want to do once you settle in? Because there's another thing. You moved here 20 years ago, and now it's all this trying to put your things together, what you're taking, what you're not, garage sales here, garage sales that, putting it all together. And it's going to take a minute for you to go home again and settle in. What is the first thing that you are so looking forward to doing over there?
Well, fortunately, I have this invitation, an actor that I know over there, very young, very good actor. I love that actor, as a person too, but I love his work on
Can we
stage.
say his name?
Sí, Sebastián Cobos.
Oh, Sebastián Cobos. This one is for you. Tell us about him.
Yeah, and I met his dad that unfortunately he's not with us anymore,
Oh,
but I was
sorry.
friends with his dad, Carlos Cobos, was a great actor. Like
Wow.
fantastic. He sang and danced and he's such a charming actor. But well, um I directed Sebastian with another girl last year, no,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the 2004, in a play. So now he called me and said, "Hey, I would like to do a monologue. Would you like to direct me?" And I said, "Oh yeah, sure, of
Ooh.
course." So and then we talk a little bit on what to do and what he wanted and whatever, and I gave him some, uh, um, tips of how to look for it. And he started reading and reading plays, and he found one. And I love the play. I love it. It's
Oh, can we
called
say the name?
Novecento. Ooh.
Ooh,
So
Julieta just got a phone call because we forgot to turn off the phone.
Sorry.
on camera. But see, that will tell you guys that this is so live, that there's no script, that everything goes on no matter what. But to your friend El Señor Cobos, I hope that works out to be amazing. I can see you as a great mentor, as a great teacher, as the fabulous actress that you are. I am sorry to see you go, which is not quite there yet, maybe a few months or a year or so. But I look forward to visiting you and continuing our friendship, especially now that there's social media. I mean, we cannot escape each other. And especially because I would love to see you in something in Mexico. Do you know that I've never been to La Capital? I've never been to the DF.
No, you have
Never.
to go. You have to go.
And I have family from the DF. My mother's brother, the youngest brother, he was number 8. My mom was number 9 of 9. And he married a lady from the Distrito Federal, Pérez, de apellido Pérez. And she passed away a couple of years ago, but the most beautiful and the best cook, my goodness. But not only I'm sorry to see you go, but at the same time, I am honored to have been your friend for all these years. You know that I wish you, oh, I'm going to cry. You know that I wish you only the best. And, here we are running out of time. But if there is one piece of advice or anything that you want to tell people out there who are listening to you, I mean, whatever it is that you want to say, where do we go?
Well, I think that I don't know. I think it can go for anybody, but especially thinking on women.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we have to always think that we have to embrace our present moment. Because more as women in this society, sometimes they push us that if have white hairs and if you have wrinkles, like you're less than what you were when you were young and beautiful, or
Mm-hmm.
no. But we always feel that we're not what we were. And we kind of sometimes hang on to that memory of, oh, I was so beautiful. I was so whatever, so strong. Just embrace who you are in the present moment, because we're not the same. Part of us is the same, our essence,
Our essence
our
is the
essence,
same.
our bones, our blood, but we go changing because we're alive. No? So
Mhm.
every stage has a beauty
Of
and something.
course.
It's like a rose when it goes like, ooh, and then you see it hanging and dry, but it's still beautiful.
It's still a rose. A
It's
rose by
still a,
any other name is still a rose.
yes. And so just embrace and be open to endless possibilities. Endless
Endless.
open to endless that yes that oh, okay, that could be like open,
Mhm.
and that would make your life just flow.
And this is not scripted. We talk, we have a conversation, we know of each other. But it is so funny because I didn't tell her what to say or asked her to talk about any issue. And you bring up to close the show what I started the show with, which is just be your true self. Go for it. Don't stop at any point. And I thank you so much, not only for your beauty, for your talent, but for the good friend that you have been throughout all these years. But before we close, there's something that I want to share with all of you. And this comes truly from the heart. There was a day a little while ago when I went through some medical issues and I had to have some chemo treatments. And this woman, this powerhouse that you have heard today, dropped everything she was doing to be with me, to be by my side, to help me out. So today, my dear friend Julieta Ortiz Elizondo, I am so sorry to say goodbye to you in the means that you will go to another country, but in the hopes that I will see you soon again. Now, Julieta, I not only celebrate your life, your talent, but especially your humanity. When you return to Mexico, please don't forget some of us little celebrities who are left behind. Thank you for being who you are on screen and off screen. And before we end this program, and I want to give all of you a little Lily Abuelita love. May someone show up in your life, like my Julieta, during the hard days ahead. And may you never forget that you are worthy of that kind of love. Until the next time, this is Entre Abuelitas with my amazing friend Julieta Ortiz Elizondo, returning to Mexico after a short 20-year stay in Los Angeles. Thank you for being who you are one more time. Best to you in the future. Y a todos ustedes, muchísimas gracias. Until the next time, good night.